If you found an old-ass camera that kills whoever you took photos of, could you outsmart the ghost and survive? Well, you are wrong, and in this video I am going to go through the movie Polaroid and explain exactly why you have no chance at survival. We start off with Sarah and her friend Linda, who are looking through some of her mom's stuff, and they find this old camera that takes Polaroid photos. Sarah decides to take a photo for her boyfriend, and after her friend leaves, we hear the camera making a lot of noise from upstairs. She finds the photo she took earlier laying next to the camera, and when she looks at it, we can see the silhouette of someone behind her. As she is looking at it, the power shuts off, and she decides to look around the house to see what is going on. If she thinks there is someone in the house, the appropriate response is to grab her phone and call 911, not follow around every single noise she hears. The ball that her friend tossed earlier comes bouncing down the attic space. Now it is certainly possible that her friend is a huge dickhead and is just fucking with her, but is that a chance you would really want to take? Well, apparently the answer is yes, because she goes up into the attic to check it out. Once she is up there, the ladder falls down behind her without her touching it. Then she hears this. Would you be surprised if I told you that she went to check it out? And of course the monster kills her. Now I know everyone who watched this movie could agree that this girl has zero survivor instincts and that she is lucky to have survived as long as she has. But in all fairness to her, it really did not matter what she did, she was completely screwed. As in pretty much all horror movies, if you are the first person to encounter whatever killer or monster is in the movie, you don't really have much of a chance. The entity does not give her a million chances to figure out what is going on like the main protagonist. Cut over to our main protagonist, Bird. Yes, her name is actually Bird. Her parents must have hated her.
Bird person! No!
Scarf Girl works at an old antique shop where her co-worker Tyler gifts her an old camera, the same camera that killed Red earlier. She takes his picture, and before she can get a good look at it, Friendzone tries to kiss her, so she makes a hasty getaway. At home, she tries to take a picture of her dog. He is clearly freaked out by the camera, and fortunately for the doggo, Scarf's friend interrupts her before she could snap the photo. Later on their way to a party, Scarf looks at the photo she took of her co-worker, and she can see the silhouette behind him. She rubs it like it might be a smudge or dirt on the picture. There really is no way she could possibly figure out what it is, so unfortunately for Friendzone, his fate is sealed. At the party, Scarf snaps a photo of all her friends, and this time she actually sees the silhouette as she snaps the photo. This is the first real hint that she gets that there is something wrong, but really most people would just brush it off like they were just seeing things. When she checks the picture, there is no silhouette in this picture. Avery shows up and snaps a selfie, but before she can check this one, the cops show up. At the station, Skinner tells her that Friendzone was murdered tonight, and when she checks his photo later, the shadowy figure is gone. As she is looking at the other two photos, we can now see that in the selfie that Avery took, the silhouette is there. But as I said a minute ago, she did not actually get to see the picture right after it was taken, so there is no way for her to know if it was in the photo before or not. Cut over to Avery, who... Interesting choice of decoration. Why does everyone in this movie live in these creepy, dark-ass houses? While she is in the basement, she hears what sounds like someone stomping around upstairs. If she knows there is no one else that is supposed to be there, now would be a good time to get the fuck out of there. Damn, the ghost gave her no chance. Once Scarf hears about Avery's death the next morning, she immediately goes to check the photo, and sure enough, the silhouette is gone and has moved to the next photo. Seeing this, Scarf throws the camera at the wall to try and break it, but it just causes some kind of shock wave and the camera is perfectly fine. Looks like destroying the camera is not going to be a way out of this. At school, her friend Casey gives her some details about Avery's death.
Bottom of the basement steps, like head completely turned around, full-on exorcist style.
Scarf tries to let everyone in on her theory that the camera is causing everyone's death. Two people dying in one day is strange, but no one is going to believe her without any proof. Luckily for her, Devin lights one of the Polaroids on fire, and when he does, Mina's arm also catches on fire. Connor grabs a fire extinguisher, but it does not work. The fire would not go out until the fire on the photo itself gets put out. So here is where they figure out that damaging a photo also harms the people in the picture. This is the moment that they should all realize how screwed they are. Scarf and Connor go back to the antique store to see if they can go find the camera's case in hopes that there are some clues in there to help them out. Scarf goes in to look for the case thinking she is safe because she is not in the picture, but it turns out her reflection can be seen in the photo and the entity comes after her. And here she thought that she could just wait it out till it killed all of her friends and it would be over. Back at the hospital, Devin leaves Mina to go find a nurse. Obviously, splitting up when you are being haunted by a possessed camera is a bad idea. If you need a nurse that bad, push the damn call button. He comes back to her room to find her hanging out. There wasn't much that Mina could have done. Scarf did call to try and warn her, but the entity got her pretty damn quick when she tried to leave. The police spent all of 2 seconds looking into it and determined it was a suicide. Now you might be wondering, why don't they show the camera to the cops? They have an easy way to prove what they are saying is real. I actually think this is a decent choice, but it wouldn't save them. The government would likely show up and take the camera likely after the kids are all already dead. This ghost runs through bitches quick. The government could lock up the camera and make sure that nobody's picture is ever taken with the camera again. But we all know that they would not do that. They would run experiments on it and probably unleash something even worse on the planet. That's how these things usually go. They look in the camera's case and they find an old police tag with a case number on it. They go to the library to look it up and they find out that a former teacher kidnapped, tortured, and killed 3 kids, also taking photos of them the entire time with the same camera. The teacher was shot and killed before he could be taken into custody. The group meets up at a diner to try and figure out their situation. Scarf tells them about the entity doing some weird blurry thing when it attacked her back at the antique shop. She believes that the entity behaves like a developing photograph and that heat and light can mess them up, so maybe it can only manifest in the dark. While this is useful information, it is not going to be their saving grace. We have seen multiple times that this thing can shut off power, so sleeping with the night light is not going to protect you. Casey says that the camera must be cursed because the photography teacher has unfinished business. Devin can't take listening to this anymore and threatens to take Scarf's photo. Devin and Connor start fighting over the camera and Connor accidentally snaps a picture of Devin. They check the picture and see the entity move from one photo to another, which tells them that it prioritizes the most recent photo. Devin continues to threaten everyone with the camera and Casey stabs the picture with a pencil which pins his hand to a piece of wood. A cop tries to intervene in the ensuing fight and Devin ends up hitting him in the face, landing his ass in a jail cell. Welp, he is fucked now. He isn't going to be able to defend himself sitting in jail. Connor and Scarf try to explain their situation to Skinner but doesn't believe them. Of course, he is not going to believe them. They don't even try to show him using one of the photos. All they say is a haunted camera is killing their friends.
Like all of a sudden I'd be trying to prove that I'm not crazy when I knew I wasn't crazy.
Right.
So of course Devin gets killed by the entity. Like I said before, once he hit that cop and got locked up, he was completely screwed. Connor and Scarf drive to Mrs. Sable's house. She tells them a story about how 4 kids teased their daughter to the point where she ended her life. In revenge, her husband tortured and murdered them while taking pictures of them with the Polaroid camera. While Mrs. Sable is telling them the story, Connor notices that the ghost moved back to the group photo. It's nice of it to tell them Devin is dead. The teacher actually only killed 3 of the kids, so Scarf and Connor break into the school to find out who the 4th kid was. They find out that the 4th kid was Sheriff Skinner, who shows up and interrupts them with Casey. While they are arguing, Connor ends up snapping a photo of Skinner, thinking that if he kills the one that got away, then he will be at peace and leave them alone. Unfortunately for them, Skinner tells a different tale than Mrs. Sable. He says that they did not take the pictures of their daughter, but it was the teacher who did, and they were trying to get her away from him. The ghost shows up and Skinner tries to shoot it, but of course it doesn't do anything. It rips the picture of him in half, which rips him in half too. Damn, why you got to do my boy Skinner like that? Connor distracts the ghost so that Casey and Scarf can escape. Connor runs into a dead end, but fortunately for him it goes after Casey and Scarf. They get cornered in the bathroom, but they are able to use the heat from the showers to keep the ghost from getting to them. After it leaves, Scarf gets up to go find Connor. She barely waited 10 seconds after it left. She is lucky that was Connor and not the ghost. Scarf gets the idea to use the camera against the ghost, which is a good idea, but it is dark as hell here where they are having this conversation. It is just pure plot armor that this thing has not killed them yet. This thing could easily shut off the power to the school, killing what little light is here and murder them both. After they get the camera, the ghost snatches Connor, dragging him away. In an effort to save him, Scarf snaps a picture of herself, which actually works. I know it likes to prioritize the most recent photo, but I mean he was right there. Just give his head a little twist, then go after her. During the final showdown, Scarf manages to take a photo of the ghost. Unfortunately for her, she caught 2 of her fingers in the picture, but sacrificing a couple of fingers would definitely be worth killing this thing. She crushes the picture, which does harm the ghost. I probably would have ripped the photo around where my fingers are, giving it the Skinner treatment. Then she lights the picture on fire, which kills the ghost for good. To end off the movie, she goes and throws the camera in the harbor. I would have tried smashing it. I know it didn't work before, but now that the ghost is dead, it should work. So do I think that the Polaroid ghost is survivable? I would say probably not, while I don't think it is the most difficult horror movie villain to take down. If this was happening to you in the real world, I don't think you would be able to figure all of this out in time. First, you would need several people to be killed by it before you to even have a chance. But even if that happens, all their deaths look like accidents, so you would most likely think they were just tragic coincidences and would not believe there is a ghost until it is too late. But what do you guys think? Could you survive the Polaroid ghost? Let me know down below. If you made it this far into the video, please do me a favor and consider subscribing and leaving a like. Also, let me know what movie you would like to see next down below. And remember, scarves are for losers.